So the big question is this: how do investors like us who trade options and manage our own money generate income regardless of where the stock market goes, and do it all in a way that lets us make time for the people and things we love, and yet still build wealth and remain profitable? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. I'm your host, Kirk Duplessis, and you're listening to The Daily Call from Option Alpha. Hey everyone, this is Kirk here again from Option Alpha, and welcome back to The Daily Call. Today, I'm answering the question, how much money do you need to start trading options for a living? So this is a big topic that we get all the time. People want to know, how can I start trading options? How can I generate a living, an income from trading options? And I think it's a challenging topic for me to broach with people because, frankly, there's a lot of misconceptions out there and a lot of stuff online that you see that just really isn't that true. And so when I unfortunately have to tell people how much money they need to generate whatever income they're looking for, it's kind of a shock. And unfortunately, I don't always want to be that person that, gives them the shock, but I'd rather be the person that kind of tells them honestly and upfront, where they are. And in most cases, that leads a lot of people away from us, meaning that they just don't think they can ever get to that point or they'll ever get to that point. So they just give up, which I don't think is a good idea, but it is what it is. I'd rather be open and upfront and honest with where they should be. I think when it comes to trading options for a living and just generating an income, I've openly said, and I've said in some of our courses before, that if you want to use a withdrawal amount per year of somewhere between 3 and 5%, if you want to use a range, ultimately, I think that's probably a very stable level that will allow you to keep money in your account and keep it growing and leave wiggle room for drawdowns and, market events that we can't yet predict. I don't know what the sequence of returns you're going to have are, but if you're in that range, that 3 to 5% range, I think you're really, really comfortable for being able to not outlive your portfolio and the income you can generate from it. Now, I know people can poke a lot of holes in the 4% rule that you hear all the time. And I've done a lot of research on this myself, and I know that there's a lot of reasons why 4% doesn't necessarily work, and you might have to be at 3%. Or if you have a lot of capital, you could be at 5% and be totally fine. There's probably a lot of things out there you can take a look at, like retirement withdrawal tables. You can search that online. There's really cool research and studies out there on, what is the right level based on how long you expect to live and how much money you expect to draw. But ultimately, what it boils down to are basically two things, right? And if you really look at a lot of the research on withdrawal rates and retirement and income stability for portfolios, it boils down to really two things. It boils down to, where the market is at the time that you start these withdrawals, right? So if you start withdrawals at the top of a, 2000 bubble in the market or a 2008 bubble in the market, or even potentially here, 2018, if the market tops this year, if you start your retirement or your options trading for a living now, you probably have to take a lower number because we might see a downturn in, stocks. We might see a downturn in the economy. And so you might want to take a lower number. Now, I'm not even talking about options trading at this point. I'm just talking about the general research that's out there around stocks. And so if you start your retirement then at the bottom of market moves, so call it 2002, 2003, also 2009, 2010, you start your retirement there or your withdrawals there, you're much more likely to be able to sustain a higher withdrawal rate. So how do we transition this to options trading? Well, obviously, if we're trading options, we can generate a higher expected return than the market. Even just a very simple covered call generates a higher expected return with less volatility than the market. So that's why I think you can probably bump that up to like the 4 or 5% range in most cases and take that as a very stable withdrawal from your account. Now, that still leaves ample room for growth, as I think you should. My thought process on this and the way that I think about it with my wife when we talk about this is that if we're at like 3 to 5% withdrawals from our account, we're leaving a lot of room for compound growth. What people will often do, and they email in and say, well, Kirk, if we can generate, say, 15% a year, why can't I take 15% a year? And I say, well, you could if you want to, but that doesn't leave enough room to generate compound growth. What I would rather see is people start off with a smaller amount and let that amount grow with your portfolio. So the first year, if it's 5% of some number portfolio, the next year your portfolio grows because you only took 5% out. And now you're taking 5% of a much larger value. And the third year, you're taking 5% of, again, a much larger value on average. That's the way that I think it should happen. And, the reality is that in most cases, you can manipulate your finances and your budget to reduce costs, reduce expenses, and live well below your means. Like, I drive a minivan. Like, I don't drive a Ferrari or like a Lamborghini. I see that all the time online, these people doing this. I'm like, that is not longevity. Like, that thing is not going to last forever. My minivan probably won't last forever either, but you can reduce your expenses. You can budget a little bit better. We moved from DC to Pennsylvania and cut our expenses by half when we did that. And we have kids, right? So you can do things that manipulate your expenses and your budget to be able to take a lower withdrawal rate so that you can let money in there to grow. And hopefully that helps out. So as far as how much money you need, look, it depends. You can reverse engineer this based on, say, 5%, maybe use that as a target, and then start working towards it. Doesn't mean that you should give up or quit now if you can't get to that level. You can get to that level over time and try to attack it from both angles. Try to save more money by reducing your expenses, and that helps get you to that point just that much faster. So hopefully this helps out. As always, if you guys have any questions, let us know. And until next time, happy trading. Thanks for joining us on the Daily Call. Be sure to subscribe right now for more daily options trading ideas, strategies, and tactics to help you learn how to place smarter, more profitable trades. And if you like what we're doing, don't forget to give us a rating and a review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you again tomorrow, right here on the Daily Call from OptionAlpha.com.